Happy Thursday, you guys. It's Michelle here again with I'm a Mommy, and I have so many things to tell you guys. I wanted to first update you with Will and tell you that he's doing great. I know some of you guys have tweeted me and emailed me and commented on my videos and asking if everything was okay, and he is doing well with the strep. Unfortunately, I noticed this rash all over his body, so we had to go into the doctor again this past week, and turns out he has roseola. So it was so sad. It was just like all over his body, and he had like these really rosy cheeks, but it's really sad. But we just kind of had to like let it pass. Like we couldn't really give him medicine or anything like that. So thankfully that is taken care of. So thank you guys so much for your concern. I want to slip in a 20-second video that I took last night of Will. It's hilarious, and it kind of shows you how happy he is. So I'll insert that right now.
Can I have those? Hey, you better give me those keys. Hey, you trickster. Hey! Give them back.
Also, I haven't been getting a lot of sleep, and I've kind of been stressed with different things going on, and so I have like a trifecta of acne right here. It always comes in threes. Don't ask me why, but it always comes in threes, and I'm like really self-conscious because I thought I was like done with acne, but I guess it's still coming. Anyway, so my video today is kind of inspired by me going to the doctor a lot recently because of Will's strep, and then also because of his wellness appointment, and then we had to go in again because of the roseola. So I wanted to give you guys some simple tips and things that I've learned and things I wish I would have known when I first had Will and when I first would go to the doctor. Okay, so the first thing is make sure to look up and look for good reviews for your doctor's office, because your doctor is going to be like your best friend. You're going to have to be able to feel comfortable enough to confide in them and ask them and say, hey, I feel like something's wrong. I have had some doctors kind of doubt what I say, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. And don't just go off of like Google reviews and that sort of thing, because that can be misleading. That's what I learned. The best thing to do is to use like Facebook or Twitter and ask people in your area, or ask your friends and say, hey, what's your, pediatrician's office? Do you like them? What has been your experience? Because you can trust your friends more than you can trust like a random Google review. So that is so important, and I think that'll make your experience so much better. Okay, the next one is when you're getting ready to go to the doctor for your son's or daughter's wellness appointment, give them some Tylenol or ibuprofen if they're over 6 months old, because that will kind of help them so when they do get their shots that they won't be in as much pain when they do get the shots. Their body's like already kind of ready for it. I've done this every single time and it works like a charm. The next tip is don't be afraid to ask questions. I was kind of afraid the very first visit that I took Will to, I think like 2 weeks or 4 weeks? I can't remember. But I was kind of intimidated. I didn't want to seem like I didn't know what I was doing, but I totally had no idea. So don't be afraid to ask your doctor if you kind of are concerned about something, if you think your baby's colicky or if there's like a weird rash, or you never know, but don't be afraid to ask questions, because that's what they are there for. This kind of leads into my next tip, and it's don't be afraid to ask for different doctors' opinion. I had a concern about Will a few months ago, and I asked my primary pediatrician, and she was like, oh, it'll be fine. It's okay. He's okay. But the problem didn't go away. It kept on, going, and so I was like, you know what? I need to get this checked out. So I called the doctor's office and I specifically asked for a different doctor, and they were like, what? Why do you want a different doctor? But I did, and I went in and saw a different doctor, and he was like, yeah, this is definitely a problem. Here's the medicine that you need, blah, blah, blah. So it made me realize like my doctor doesn't know everything, and I kind of felt weird, and you just kind of have to go with your intuition. If you feel like something's wrong, something's probably wrong, because you know your child best. So don't be afraid to ask for another doctor's opinion, even if it's like at a different doctor's office or something. This next tip is something that I feel like I'm being hypocritical in telling you guys to do, because I don't do it, but I need to do it, and I'm going to do it for the next visit. I'm making that a goal for myself, but that is to keep your immunization records up to date. They always give you like an immunization card at the hospital after your child's delivered. Make sure to take that with you everywhere you go. I always forget it, so they always have to call the old doctor's office, and it takes a while. So when I just barely went this past week to Will's wellness visit, I guess, they had to take like 15 minutes to get all the records faxed over, and I was like, oh, that's totally my fault, because other than that, the visit was so fast. So that was kind of my fault. So definitely keep your records up to date. Okay, the next thing is to bring toys and treats to keep your child occupied at the doctor's office, because you never know how long you're gonna be in there. And if you're at a good doctor's office, you won't have to wait too long, but I've definitely had my share of doctor's offices where I've waited like 45 minutes in the waiting room, 30 minutes in the room. So I'd always bring treats and toys and things to keep him occupied in that small little room. And I'm very happy because if you watched my last day in the life video, my last video that I posted, I had like the Nutter Butter treats that I was giving Will while we were waiting. And the doctor commended me on, you know, having such a good treat for Will. And it's funny because I actually had a bag of Oreos that I was gonna bring in instead. So thank goodness I didn't do that, because then she didn't have to judge me and think I was a bad parent giving my child a cookie. So yeah, bring treats for your child. The next thing that's a really good idea, and this isn't me like complimenting myself, and if you're Thai, then you know what like chom toeng means, but I'm not complimenting myself. But I think you need to bring something that's comforting for your child. I always bring Will's soft blanket that he has to have all the time. So if they lay him down for the shots, I lay him down on the blanket. And then the second he gets his shots and he's, you know, kind of sad, then I like wrap him up in the blanket so it's like really comfortable for him. Something familiar, something that gives him comfort just besides me. So bring something like, if it's a toy, a stuffed animal, or something that they love, that definitely helps out. Okay, the next tip is to bring your child to the doctor's office in pajamas. And I know a lot of people have this, I don't know, there's like this stigma that you're kind of a bad parent if your child's in the pajamas in the middle of the day. But I learned my lesson the very first visit that I took Will to. I was so nervous but excited at the same time. I was like, oh, I get to take him out of the house. And so I dressed him up in this cute outfit with all these layers, because it was probably November at that point. And we get there and they're like, okay, undress him. And I'm like, oh, I have to undress him. So I had to take off all the layers, and he was crying because he was cold. And I learned my lesson after that. I just put him in like his footy jammies, zip them up, and right when you walk in, they're like, hey, take off the clothes down to a diaper so we can weigh them. So I just unzip them and we're ready to go, and it makes the visit so much faster. And then also, after we're done with the shots, I can just put him in his jammies, and he usually falls asleep on the way home, and then I can just transfer him to his crib. And it just kind of makes him comfortable, and it's just easier for you to dress him than like putting on this like really, really cute outfit. Okay, so the very last tip is don't be embarrassed if your child's fussy. I mean, I get self-conscious a lot, you know, if Will's not acting perfectly, but at the end of the day, the doctor's office sees all kinds of kids, so they're not gonna be that judgmental unless they're rude. I've had a couple of doctor's offices kind of be rude, unfortunately, but I felt really self-conscious because they're kind of like, why is your kid crying, blah, blah, blah. So just know that it's normal that your child's fussy at a doctor's office. I mean, it's kind of cold sometimes, they're getting shots, people are poking and prodding at them, and you know, don't be embarrassed. It's really normal. So that is my video for today, you guys. I hope it helped you guys out and got you excited to go to your next doctor visit with your child. Also, I wanted to say something really quickly in Russian because I promised some people that I would, and yeah, I guess I will say something right now. Привет всем там, которые находятся там в России или на Украине. Я хотела сказать вам привет и спасибо за поддержку. Я очень благодарна за вас всех и за то, что вы здесь. И что еще? Я не знаю, что сказать. Но просто спасибо, спасибо, спасибо. Okay, you guys, that's all for now. If you want to know what I just said, email me or comment below and let me know. Also comment below, mommies that are like professional mommies, or I guess not even professional mommies. Let me know some of your doctor tips. You can also tweet them to me at MichelleP5 or email them to me, and I will share them with everybody else. And also, you guys, I was wondering if you would be interested in me doing like a Q&A video where you can email me or tweet me some random questions. They don't even have to be like mommy related. I know a lot of YouTubers have been doing that lately, so let me know if that's something that you want to see. You can ask me anything and I will answer. So unless it's like ridiculously personal, but I'm pretty open. So let me know what you guys think, and have a fabulous Thursday. Bye.